On the ground in Syria, fighting between rebels and government forces rages on. Plumes of smoke rising from a shelled-out town in Idlib province. Meanwhile, in Moscow, movement on the diplomatic front. Syria's foreign minister expressing support for Russia's plan to place Syria's chemical arsenal under international control.
I declare that Syria welcomes the Russian proposal out of concern for the lives of the Syrian people, the security of our country, and because it believes in the wisdom of the Russian leadership that seeks to avert American aggression against our people.
The Russian plan calls for Syria's chemical weapons, once turned over, to be destroyed. China, which like Russia has blocked previous Security Council resolutions, is also supporting the plan, as does Iran, a key Syrian ally. Anger against the Syrian government has been growing ever since the world glimpsed the first images of a chemical weapons attack last month that killed hundreds of civilians near Damascus. And French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius said Tuesday France is set to propose a UN Security Council resolution demanding the Syrian government surrender its chemical weapons.
We have
had the same attitude since the beginning. Our objective is to eradicate the chemical threat and the protection of the Syrian people.
Still, along the Syrian border with Turkey, the situation remains tense, with Turkish forces on alert. And refugees remain skeptical of any diplomatic resolution.
We want the Americans to bomb them so we get rid of them and their oppression.
If there is to be a strike, reports say it could come from the Incirlik air base in Turkey, where planes and fighter jets are on standby. But in a series of interviews Monday, U.S. President Barack Obama left open the possibility it won't come to that.
I want to make sure that that norm against use of chemical weapons is maintained. That's in our national security interests. If we can do that without a military strike, that is overwhelmingly my preference.
Recent polls show that's also the preference of a solid majority of Americans. The Brookings Institution's Darrell West says that may make it very hard for President Obama to pull the trigger.
It's very difficult for a president to persuade people when they've already made up their mind against some type of foreign intervention.
Rebels, meanwhile, are continuing the fight, saying Mr. Assad cannot be trusted to follow through on deals made through international diplomacy. Jeff Seldin, VOA News, Washington.